When you grow up in a family of 19 kids, it's almost impossible to stay equally close with every sibling. But Jinger Duggar just revealed which brothers and sisters she's closest to today, and which ones she's drifted away from. And honestly, the answer might surprise you. Jinger Duggar, the sixth child of Jim, Bob, and Michelle Duggar, has always stood out in the famous Duggar family. Known for challenging and stepping away from some of the strict rules she grew up with, Jinger has become a symbol of independence to many fans. She's moved away from Arkansas, built her own life with her husband Jeremy Vuolo in Los Angeles, and written openly about her journey of faith and personal growth. Because of all this, fans have always wondered, how has Jinger's shifting lifestyle and beliefs affected her relationships with her 18 brothers and sisters? Has it brought her closer to some and distanced her from others? In this video, we'll dive into exactly which siblings Jinger says she stays in touch with most, and what that reveals about the Duggar family dynamics today. So, which Duggar siblings are still closest to Jinger, and what does that tell us about where the family stands now? Let's get into it. Jinger Duggar recently opened up about how often she talks with her brothers and sisters, and her honesty gave fans a clearer picture of how life has changed since her move to California. In interviews and social media Q&As, Jinger admitted that while she doesn't get to talk to every sibling all the time, there are a few she stays especially close with. She specifically mentioned that she talks to Jana, Jill, and Jana fairly often. With Jill, her bond has deepened in recent years as both sisters have navigated stepping away from some of their parents' strict rules and building new lives of their own. Jana, though she still lives in Arkansas, also remains in close contact with Jinger, proof that even across distance, some sibling bonds hold strong. Jana, being the oldest sister and once Jinger's closest confidant at home, still checks in regularly too. Living in California with her husband Jeremy and their 2 daughters, Jinger's day-to-day reality looks very different from her upbringing in Arkansas. Instead of being constantly surrounded by siblings, she now maintains relationships mostly through phone calls, FaceTime, and occasional visits. That shift highlights just how much her life has changed, not just in geography, but also in independence and lifestyle. This is a big contrast to the Duggar family of the past. Growing up, the children were rarely apart. They lived under one roof, followed the same routines, and even shared many of the same responsibilities. Now, as adults, the Duggar siblings are scattered, some still in Arkansas, others in Texas, California, or even abroad. Each one is pursuing a different path: marriage, careers, ministry, or quieter lives away from the cameras. It's also natural that, in a family of 19 children, not everyone is going to remain equally close. Just like in any large family, some relationships strengthen while others drift apart. With different states, time zones, and personal choices creating distance, Jinger's situation reflects what happens in most families, only on a much larger scale. What's unique here is that fans are watching those bonds shift in real time, after years of seeing the siblings constantly together on TV. When we step back and compare Jinger's sibling relationships to those of her brothers and sisters, an even bigger picture begins to form. For example, Jill Duggar has been very open about her strained relationship with both her parents and certain siblings. Jill and her husband, Derek, have publicly shared that they distance themselves from the Duggar household due to conflicts over control, finances, and boundaries. That tension has clearly trickled down into sibling relationships as well. Jill isn't as connected with many of her brothers and sisters, though she does maintain a few strong bonds, like with Jessa at certain points and definitely with her cousin Amy. Jessa, on the other hand, has generally stayed closer to the Duggar fold. She still lives in Arkansas, near her parents, and fans often see her interacting with siblings like Jana and Jana. Still, even in her case, marriage and raising her own children have naturally shifted the dynamic. She's no longer the sister constantly surrounded by siblings. Her primary focus is her own household. Jana, the eldest Duggar daughter, presents yet another angle. She spent much of her adult life at the Duggar home, helping raise younger siblings, and for a long time, she was seen as the glue, holding many family routines together. But even Jana's role has changed in recent years, especially as more Duggar kids marry, move away, or pursue different paths. She may still live in Arkansas, But the days of all the siblings being together under one roof are long gone. Marriage, geography, and personal choices have reshaped nearly every sibling connection. Jinger's move to California with Jeremy is one of the most striking examples. She's living not only thousands of miles away, but also in a completely different cultural environment. That distance, both physical and ideological, has naturally narrowed her inner circle of siblings she keeps up with regularly. And we can't overlook the role of fame, scandals, and personal decisions. For years, the Duggar family projected an image of perfect togetherness, a united front of 19 kids all bound by faith and family values. But in reality, as each child has grown, faced real-life challenges, and made their own decisions, cracks in that picture-perfect image have become visible. Scandals involving Josh, disagreements over the family's strict religious practices, and conflicts over media control have all contributed to widening gaps. That's why it's so significant when Jinger admits she mainly stays in touch with just a select few siblings. It highlights the very human reality behind the Duggar brand. When you grow up in such a massive family, it's impossible to equally nurture every relationship, especially once adulthood, marriages, and personal beliefs start pulling people in different directions. Jinger's honesty underscores that even in the Duggar world, closeness isn't automatic. It has to be chosen and maintained, and in her case, it's been narrowed down to the ones she feels most aligned with today. When Jinger opened up about which siblings she still talks to the most, fans online immediately had mixed reactions. On one hand, many people praised her honesty. They felt it was refreshing to hear a Duggar admit that not every sibling relationship remains equally strong, especially in a family of 19 kids. For years, the Duggar brand thrived on the image of constant togetherness, but Jinger's words painted a more realistic picture. On the other hand, some fans expressed sadness, pointing out that the siblings were once inseparable on camera and now life choices, distance, and personal beliefs seem to have created natural divides. Social media comments reflect this tension. Some say it's simply part of adulthood and individuality, while others view it as proof that the Duggar perfect family image has fractured beyond repair. This moment matters because the Duggar name has always been built on unity, faith, and family. The idea that the siblings are no longer as close subtly shifts how the public perceives the Duggar legacy. Instead of one large, unified family, fans are now seeing individuals, each carving their own path. Jinger's candor reinforces that growing up sometimes means growing apart, and that doesn't necessarily mean disconnection. Distance doesn't always equal estrangement. It can also mean independence. Looking forward, Jinger's openness could pave the way for other siblings to speak about their own relationships. Jill has already been vocal about her struggles with the family, and Jessa, Jana, and others may eventually share more openly as well. If that happens, the Duggar narrative may shift from one of a collective family identity to a story of 19 individuals navigating life on their own terms. As we wrap things up, let's quickly recap the key takeaways. Jinger Duggar recently opened up about which siblings she keeps in touch with the most, and while that might surprise some fans, it's actually a very natural part of family life. Especially in a family as large as the Duggars, it's almost impossible to maintain the same level of closeness with every single sibling. Her comments also give us a window into how the Duggar family has evolved over the years. Gone are the TLC days of a picture-perfect, always-together household. Now, the siblings are growing up, moving away, and carving their own unique paths. At the end of the day, Jinger's honesty shows that family ties may stretch, but they don't necessarily break. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.